because we're live. And one more day, actually less than that. Less than 24 hours till October 1st, which is a new month. That's kind of fun. But also, if you're a Lego fan, it's release day tomorrow, October 1st. Some cool sets are going live. And so as I build here, as I work on this set behind me, 75330, let's talk about, join the chat and talk about this October 1st release day. 75330 is the DAGOBAH Jedi training diorama set. Speaking of dioramas, the ultimate diorama collector set is coming out tomorrow. Yes, the ultimate diorama collector set, also known as the UCS Death Star. So, welcome to the live stream. I will start building here in a minute, and actually, you know what? I can catch up a little bit. So yesterday when I began the live stream, I had to catch up from the previous build, or I was working on finishing bag 2, and then I did bag 3, which looked like kind of a Lego Star Wars Tetris set. So now here we go. Talk, especially when it comes to release day. So the AT-AT, the gingerbread AT-AT for sure. Welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are having a good Tuesday, and started out the live stream talking about the build I'm going to work on as I live stream here. Set 75300. This set is retired, but it's sort of inspired by the idea of what to look forward to as a Lego collector. I usually have my son here, well, actually more over the summer. Now it's been a little bit since school started up back again, but the other sig fig here is my son. So he helped me over the summer, and we did a bunch of live stream builds on the sets you see behind me here. And so that's the idea of now continuing the live stream series and eventually get enough momentum back for him to join as well. Do you have any Lego Army sets, or do you set Legos? I think you mean do you have a clone army? My son has built a clone army. Yes, we have some battle packs that he's collected. But if you mean Lego Army, I guess you could say you could do several versions of a Lego Army. I think the default or the idea on that one is to build a clone army from a Lego Star Wars theme or something like that. So, yeah. Welcome to the live stream. Seeing some other people here viewing the live stream, so thanks for joining in. If you like the chat, if you like talking about Lego, I'll be building this diorama set. I kind of called it the Tetris set yesterday just because when I was building the bottom layer here, or the surface layer, before it got to all those green tiles, it just had a lot of different squares and rectangular shapes, but the layering looks really good now. So you have these green 1x1 tiles, kind of transparent, and then of course you have the surface of the planet Dagobah, where this is where, if you've seen the movie Empire Strikes Back, this is where Luke meets up and finally cross paths with Yoda to train as a Jedi. So I'm going to finish building up this section. This is all, there's 6 bags total. This set has 1,000 pieces. Welcome. Is it number Cal 52 or N number CA 52? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Yes, you are right. They are very expensive, Joe. Thank you for joining the chat. Yes, in fact, just mentioning what's going on tomorrow, October 1st release day. If you're a committed Lego collector, if you're a Lego Star Wars fan especially, you know that the most expensive Lego of all time, or Lego sets of all time, is being released. The UCS Death Star, and we're talking about $999. But of course, after taxes and everything, you were talking about $1,000 Lego set. So over the last week and a half or so, in the live streams that we do daily, I was talking about October 1st has a lot of new sets coming out. Aside from the Death Star, there are other pretty pricey sets coming out. The Holiday Train, $130. So I guess that's that's pretty reasonable. That's a a Christmas set. It's kind of fun that Lego's releasing something more of a different build for these Christmas themed sets. But $130, 4 minifigures, 956 pieces. You get the Holiday Train. It's very decorative, very colorful looking. In time for Christmas, you get a set of track plates also. And then probably one of the most expensive, maybe not most logically understood Lego sets coming out as far as new goes. Hey, thank you for the 4 likes, everyone. Is the Lego Family Christmas Tree Set, $330. So this is like, speaking of diorama, this is kind of like a display piece that on one side looks like a small Christmas tree. I guess you'd say kind of on the scale and size of a potted plant, about a foot or so tall, maybe a little bit taller than that. And on one side is a tree with decorations, a lot of color. Then on the inside is a display piece, kind of like a giant tree house. So as far as a set goes, it looks like a fun display piece to have for Lego. I'd almost say it's something that you might want to try and build on your own. But that set is over $320. So $329.99 for Lego Family Christmas Tree. All these sets you can see on lego.com. So these are all the new sets coming out for release day, and some of them, of course, themed for Christmas. Now, the one set that I'm looking at that's going to be released tomorrow, if I can get it in time, is the Gingerbread AT-AT Walker. So yes, a holiday themed set, but also a Star Wars themed set. And that one doesn't break the bank. Of course, if you're a young person, a kid wanting to buy Lego, it's definitely gonna take a bite out of your wallet. But that one is $59.99, and then after taxes, a little bit pricier. But that set is a fun play on the Star Wars theme itself. As you can see, like a lot of Star Wars here. So I'm gonna have fun buying that set for $59.99, and you get a gingerbread themed Darth Vader. So if you like Darth Vader, then that's kind of a fun to set. Yes, so Lego, or that's a fun set to have. Yes, Lego is expensive. You are right. You are right, Joe. NO number CA52. I'm trying to find an easy way to say that. Let's just say CA52. So many green 1x1s. Yes, when you're talking about my diorama set here, it is. Actually, I thought it would be somewhat tedious to do all that, because it's basically almost 200 tiles of these 1x1s. But as you're placing them, they kind of have you put them in patterns, and it actually is kind of a easygoing, methodical build. So it doesn't seem tedious at all. No, I do not do that, Fortnite, but fun question. Yeah, so let's see, Joe. Yeah, it depends on your budget for Lego. As you know, Lego prices have gone up a lot. There's a lot of economic factors involved, but man, I don't know. Matt is alive. Matt has arrived, digging the dive, striving to survive, drive to thrive, high-fived, subscribed, liked the live. Matt is in the chat. How about that? Double high fives. Matt is alive. Hey, minifigure collector, welcome. Joe, I think the only Lego building for a low budget are... Oh, Joe says the only Lego building I do are IKEA tables, low budget. You know, IKEA actually had an exclusive Lego set for a while, and then like a Lego, I don't know if it was like a storage bin, but on the top part of the storage bin, it had studs that you can stand Lego pieces on. So, you know, that is true. There's actually a relation there. Fortnite says, do you sell Lego armies? Actually, you know, a good place for that. Actually, there's probably several places now. Bricklink.com. I hear Whatnot is a new, well, not new to some people. Whatnot, I have not checked out that forum myself, but Whatnot, there's a lot of people doing like auctions on sets or minifigures that they have. So that's kind of a good secondary market for probably people who are serious into collecting and kind of know what they're looking for in terms of price and everything. So you might try those two possibilities. Those are the ones I know of. So bricklink.com and Whatnot. And of course, if it doesn't matter the theme, actually, if you go on the Lego website, there is some, they call them battle packs, like sets of 4 or 6 minifigures that you can buy that are castle themed. So if you like Lego Castle, like for example, the 3-in-1 set that just came out in August, like this one here, it's kind of crunched together right now. I have the walls all folded in. But they do have, Lego.com itself has an option to buy a Lego Castle Guard and Lego Castle themed minifigure battle packs, like sets of 4 or 5 minifigures. So they look pretty decent. I think you're talking probably around the $20 range. So there are some options there. Hey, Formaggio, Lego flashlight minifigure collector says the only 3 holiday sweater Star Wars figures I don't like is, or don't have maybe, is Luke's, Leia's, and the Jawa. That's right. Oh, don't own. There we go. The only minifigures I don't own. So minifigure collector, sounds like you do stay around for the, or you look forward to the advent calendars where they come out with those special minifigures as well. You know, I used to buy those. Actually, not. I can't say I collected them. I bought like maybe 3 years in a row or so of those advent calendars, especially when they did come out with the other themes. Like there was a Marvel themed one, a Star Wars themed one has been going on for a while now, and then of course some just the regular Lego City ones. And you do get some cool minifigures. You get a Santa minifigure in case you know you want one of those. Those minifigures are fun. But now that those advent calendars are up to like $45, I have not had much interest in spending $45 on a bunch of little Lego builds. And then I think you get maybe what, 4 or 5 minifigures that can be fun collectibles, but I just don't think it's worth the $45 price tag. Now, I know I've seen those advent calendars go on sale at Costco, and they'll drop the price sometimes. Of course, you have to be pretty much in luck in terms of timing to find those. I've seen the sale price on some of those advent calendars. They drop down pretty significantly, like maybe down to $25 or so. But then you know what the right price is, because then people just swoop those up. Those things go quickly, and then you probably miss the opportunity to get an advent calendar for a more accurate price, like around $25. I have in the past, when I did buy those, I found those advent calendars go down to even less than $20, but that was now probably about 5 years ago, which is crazy. So time goes pretty fast. The prices of Lego also go up pretty fast. So now you got to be pretty strategic as a Lego collector. And so here's the thing. I'm trying to be strategic in terms of buying this holiday AT-AT Lego gingerbread Lego set, the AT-AT gingerbread set with the gingerbread themed Darth Vader. I think obviously the gingerbread Darth Vader is a pretty sweet looking minifig. Definitely a play on Star Wars itself, and so I think that's going to be pretty appealing to a lot of people. So even though it gets released October 1st, you know, if you're actually planning on buying anything like this, like those sets, you gotta go on the Lego website, you know, right at midnight and probably make that purchase. So the good thing for my time zone is I'm 3 hours behind the East Coast, and so can probably be able to purchase that set around 9 o'clock at night here on the West Coast. But because of the popularity and because of the set that is being released, I think there's going to be quite a lot of interesting things to pay attention to at midnight. Are a lot of people going to go online and buy the UCS Death Star that's coming out at midnight tonight, October 1st? So that'll be interesting to see. And then a lot of Lego fans, probably those who are planning on buying that set, will show up at the Lego stores and buy those, you know, early and opening time, like, I don't know, around 9 or 10 o'clock. When do Lego stores open? Most of them are in malls. And when those stores open, I think there'll probably be a little bit of hype for people to wait in line and buy that Death Star or other Lego sets like the Gingerbread AT-AT right as the stores open tomorrow morning, October 1st. So those people that have planned out their strategy well and can, I guess, head over to a Lego store, you know, at their lunch hour, or just take the morning off or get into work later and get any of those Lego sets. There might be kind of a serious draw to the Lego stores tomorrow morning, but we'll see. So part of the fun about this release date is just seeing what happens. Being the most expensive Lego set being released tomorrow, I'm curious as to which people, or how well the set's going to sell. How many people are going to be willing to drop $1,000 on the most expensive Lego set up to this point? So yeah, part of the interest for me anyway is just to see what happens with the sales. So let's see. Fortnite, no, I don't sell any Legos. Let's see. You're out of fun Legos, Army Legos. Army Legos, interesting. I don't know. If you're referring to Army Legos, maybe be more specific. Maybe you're talking about Clone Army, like Star Wars related minifigures, but I'm not sure. So if you like Lego and you like talking about Lego, especially with new sets coming out tomorrow, please join the chat, Star Wars Battlefield. Thank you for stopping by to say hello. Leave a like if you like talking Lego and this is your first time finding the channel. Thank you for joining the chat and saying hello, and appreciate the time for you to be here. And we'll just keep talking about Lego and building up this set. And if you are wondering, as I talk, I am building this set right here, the diorama set, the DAGOBAH Jedi training diorama set. Scenes from the Empire Strikes Back movie and what this set relates to. So this set is pretty cool. Right before that, I built this diorama set, the trash compactor set. And again, just pointing out how fun this diorama set was to build, plus the effect, you know, of, like, if you've seen the Star Wars movie, the original Star Wars, New Hope, you've seen this. This was one of those famous scenes where they get caught. They thought they were escaping a firefight with the stormtroopers. They went down a air shaft or an air vent, they thought, and they end up in the trash compactor facility, and then the walls start to close in on them. But there we go. Luke's just fallen off. So what happens then is part of that story. R2-D2 and 3CPO get into the mainframe computer and save them. So this is a fun scene. This is a fun build. Again, it's a retired set, but I am glad I got this build. You get these 6 minifigures, and Luke and Han Solo in their Stormtrooper armor. You get Leia, the old school looking Leia, original outfit, and then Chewbacca here in the background, and the two famous droids of all time from Star Wars, R2 and 3CPO. So this was a cool diorama set. This, I think, would be, or it probably is, a good collector set to have. Something that will appreciate in value. Actually, I should look it up and see if it has appreciated in value. This is, what set number was this one? This diorama set was 75339. So as I'm talking here, let me just look up and see. Let me see what that set is worth. So if you are curious about Lego and buying Lego used, there's always the resource called Bricklink, where you can find what sets are out there, what are all the sets that have been released over the course of Lego history. And this diorama set behind me, just over 800 pieces. And let's see how much it's valued. So when it first came out, it was, I think, $100. I bought both these sets off of Walmart.com for a sale price, about $20 or $25 less. And so new, and so that was good to have. But right now it's not so bad. You can buy at least the used version of this set for about $45. So if it's a set that interests you, it's a really fun build. And this set is not what I thought it would be. I thought it would be a pretty highly valued Lego set that Lego collectors want, but right now it's pretty much the price it was when I bought it on sale, about $70, $75. There's a few sets that are incomplete, which are $40, which makes me think that you're just getting the build with no, oh yeah, no minifigures. So let me change that. I thought I set all the perimeters. I don't want something that's incomplete. So a complete version of this set is more around $60 and up, depending on what condition. If it's new, probably more like $85. So, serious Lego Star Wars collectors. And I also claim that this was like a 10% version of the Death Star, being that it's a diorama set that will also appear in the UCS Death Star. So I got my 10% version without having to buy an entire Death Star set. Okay, back to the diorama build of the Jedi training of Luke at the Dagobah system, or the Dagobah planet, from the movie Empire Strikes Back. And when I got these diorama sets, I thought maybe they weren't necessarily the best sets out there. Usually when you think of getting a Star Wars set, it's probably related to a ship, like the Millennium Falcon here, or some other ship that makes Star Wars collecting fun, or a battle pack, of course. But these diorama sets, in terms of build, are fun to have. You get the you get special scenes from the movie. You get a unique Luke minifigure, especially with this particular set here, which I think is kind of fun. You get another version of Luke in his training outfit here, kind of like basically his pilot's uniform. That now he's taking off the pilot coat or whatever cover, so he's just kind of got his workout clothes here. And the build itself is pretty fun. You layer a lot of things. Obviously, it's a good display piece. It almost seems like if you removed all, or not seems, you could maybe modify this a little bit, especially with all the pieces that go into what's going to end up being Yoda's hut. You could modify all that, take all the green tiles out, or at least some of them, maybe leave some for decoration, and then build up a surface here with a lot more stud pieces, and basically have it be a minifigure stand or display. And especially because it comes with these printed plates that are fun to have. So these printed plates are cool. It says Star Wars, and then of course has a quote from Yoda: "Do or do not, there is no try." So very cool to have this full-on display here, or diorama set to build off from. So let's see here. Thank you guys. 10 likes. So if you like Star Wars, you like Lego, join in the chat. If you find this sig fig, please like and subscribe. This is our Brick Therapy logo right here that my son and I built. And then, you know, if you ever gone on to the Lego website or a Lego store, you can build your own custom minifigures, you know, trying to basically represent yourself as a minifigure, which we did there. And you can go on the Lego website and design one of those, or you can do the same thing at a Lego store. It's not the cheapest minifigure to design, but it's fun, especially if you are someone who collects Lego over time. It's kind of fun to have a sig fig, they call it, signature figure, for $11.99. So you can put your own custom design on the torso of the minifigure and have that go. So back to October 1st sets. The Gingerbread AT-AT Walker is $59.99. That's the set I'm hoping to get as the clock strikes midnight, or here on the West Coast as the clock strikes 9 p.m. because then I think it'll be available. And so I'm hoping to get that set without any issues. I think maybe because this is the day before release day, there's quite a lot of Lego fans out there maybe biding their time and waiting for that midnight hour as well to go on the online and get a set like that. I don't know how many people are going to get the UCS Death Star set. So on our channel, on our YouTube channel, I actually put a poll. Let me open it, see if it's changed maybe a little bit here. But I put a poll as to what people think will happen October 1st in terms of all these released sets coming out tomorrow. Or you could even say earlier, right, at midnight. And so I put a poll out there that basically asks, what do people think? And, oops. And it says, how well do you think, or how successful will the October 1st release day be with these sets? So, on the poll, I asked, how successful will the October 1st release day be with these sets? Option 1, so you're voting on one of these. Option 1, the UCS will fly off the shelves first. So the $1,000 UCS set will totally be overwhelmed with people wanting to buy it, and it will go on back order right away, basically. Or the AT-AT will sell out first. Of course, a smaller set, a lot less expensive. We're talking $60 price. Or the UCS will be a bust, or people will just love Lego and buy whatever October 1st. Now, there is another fun holiday, Christmas-related set. Actually, there's a few, but there's a giant Santa Big Fig figure. So imagine, you know, your usual Lego minifigure, but 100 times the size of this guy, you know, so about a foot tall or whatever. And he's patterned after a Lego minifigure, Big Fig Santa Claus. And so, after 116 votes, only 8% said that the UCS will be a popular purchase October 1st. The majority said, 67% of the voters said the AT-AT will sell out for sure. 10% said the UCS will be a bust, and about 15% said some other Lego set. So that's kind of fun. It's kind of interesting to see what people think, but of course, then I'm kind of not skeptical, but I also think it might be that people do want to buy the UCS set. It might actually draw a lot of people. Hey, CC5853, one of my mods is here. Yes, I think Star Wars Battlefield was just here for a little bit. He said hello, but I think he might have signed off already. So CC5853, welcome. Glad you're here for as long as you can be. And good to see a familiar name. I can't say a familiar face, but a familiar name on the chat with me here. Very cool. So, looking forward to Lego release day tomorrow, or really this evening, really. So I will let you guys know on our next live stream how things worked out. And sometimes with these popular release days, I know especially like on Black Friday, which will be next month in November, that sometimes the Lego website crashes because so many people are logged on, to try and take advantage of buying a certain Lego set. Now that makes more sense because that's when certain sets will go on sale or people are looking for something specific and fun to purchase. And so we'll see what happens there. So thanks for the 10 likes, everyone. Thanks for joining the chat. There must be a lot of new people viewing the chat today, or they're just not joining in the chat because it's fun to see the 10 likes. I have not seen as many people join and say hello in the chat, but 10 likes is great. So thank you for that. It's a Tuesday, so maybe it's a quieter afternoon or evening for a lot of you, but I appreciate the time that people have taken to join and say hello on the chat as I build up this diorama set. Now, when it gets closer to Black Friday, another set I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of deals Lego has. If you're a Lego collector, for sure, you might agree, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. CC5853 says, I haven't been here in a while because of school. I hear you, CC5853. My son is the same way. School and on top of soccer practice and gosh, you name it. There is a lot of things to take care of and make sure to get done. So I definitely hear that. And so with school starting, my son, as you noticed, especially those who've been around a while, CC5853, hasn't been able to join the live streams. So hopefully, he's got somewhat of a important, well, it is time consuming, a report to do for school. So hopefully he'll join me on one of the weekends coming up, especially as we get closer to Black Friday or sometime in mid-October, because then I will be looking intently on whether or not there'll be some deals from Lego after the excitement has maybe worn off about the October 1st release day, to see if there'll be some double insider point opportunities to get the UCS Millennium Falcon. So that's what I'm looking forward to in the near future. Of course, part of my priority in seeking out that set is wondering if it would get retired this year. So basically only having maybe another 2 months or so to get that set. And that set has been out for at least 7 years. It's obviously a popular enough UCS set, even for the price, because that I think was pretty much the most expensive Lego set out, at least until tomorrow when the UCS Death Star comes out. Hey, Turkey, welcome. Good to see you. What are you building? The Death Star is coming out tomorrow. Yes, Turkey, you are right. I am building set 75330. Glad you asked. Gotta kind of throw this out there every once in a while, periodically. Thanks for the likes, guys. This is a diorama set, the Dagobah training or Jedi training set. And just before that, I built the trash compactor diorama set. So I had both these sets in the backlog. Basically, staying in the Star Wars theme as we get close to October 1st tomorrow, right? With the release day of the biggest, most expensive Star Wars set out there. Well, actually, I don't know if it's the biggest, but the most expensive Star Wars set out there, with the UCS set about to be released, and some fun other Lego sets as well. And my hope is to be there early enough to get the gingerbread AT-AT. I mean, I for sure will be there early enough. Will I be able to buy it online and compete with all these other folks who may be planning to go on the Lego website at midnight? So yeah, some fun things to look forward to, Turkey A. I agree. He says, I like Star Wars. Yes, very cool. Very cool. CC5853 says, I wish I had money because I'm broke. Same as usual. Ah, sorry. I hear you, CC5853. Looks like um, we all deal with that scarcity of funds, right? So some people won't have a scarcity of funds, or maybe they will afterward. But those that are planning to get the Death Star set, and we've already mentioned it at length how much that set is kind of been controversial. So when we all first heard about that set, you know, as a rumor, and then you hear it, the Death Star. I think I actually heard about that UCS set, and I can say it was not a rumor because the first person that actually told me about that UCS set coming out was a Lego store employee. And I asked him, this was like probably last spring, so somewhere around April 2025 or so, not too long ago, you know, several months ago. But I asked him, it was more of a like, what would you do type of purchase. So if you're a serious Lego collector, what would you get first? And I was pointing out, I really like the Titanic build. And I also was eyeing, or still am eyeing, the UCS Millennium Falcon. I thought both those sets are would be so fun to build. They're giant sets. I don't know if the Titanic counts as a UCS set, but definitely as, you know, one in the same type of build size and everything. And I said, which one would you suggest, or which one would you rather have? The Millennium Falcon, which is about $200 more than the Titanic set, but the Titanic set's like this one of those iconic historic sets. And then the UCS Millennium Falcon's one of those one of those iconic Star Wars theme sets. You know, what would you do? And then he said, well, actually, well, he gave me 2 points. Point one, he said, get the Millennium Falcon because it's an older set. It'll be retired soon. A lot of people are going to wish they had that set when it was still out for sale. So he said, you know, get the Millennium Falcon versus the Titanic. And I don't think the Titanic's being retired either. That's a fun set. I think a couple of you have said you do have that set. And then he also said, but if you can wait, you know, for another few months, there will be a UCS Death Star set. And I thought, that sounds very intriguing. And what I pictured at that time, knowing, here's my progress so far of the Dagobah build, got a little more structure to it now with Yoda's hut there in the middle. But I thought, well, that's a Death Star set. In my mind, I'm sure a lot of people, when they heard about that set coming out, thought, you know, there was that Death Star set that came out that was the play scale size one, you know, a full sphere with a playable section to it, you know, like a diorama, but kind of just maybe a couple or maybe 3 levels or so of what would be serve as the inside of the Death Star. And then, you know, you hear 40 minifigures and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this set's going to be amazing. It's going to be one of the best Lego Star Wars sets ever. So that's what you're picturing. Plus there was, I think it was also a UCS set, another Death Star set that came out, which was, you know, the full sphere, full planet shaped set. Nothing, no play features on the inside, but it was a full sphere, and then it had the, you know, the large radar dish slash laser beam gun on the outside. That was this powerful weapon that you've seen, you know, destroy pretty much anything. And so I knew about those 2 builds, so I thought, oh, this new UCS is going to be amazing. A full sphere, a full play set. It's UCS. I can only imagine how many pieces that's going to be. And then the reality hits, the pictures start to leak of what it will really look like. And people say diorama. It's going to be more of a diorama. It's going to be more of something that you can put flat on your shelf. And then it's kind of like the momentum or the you know how you a balloon deflates was like, oh, that's what it's going to look like, and it's still going to be $1,000. Well, you know, 40 minifigures, that still sounds cool. What's that going to be like? Actually, the reality is it's going to be 38 minifigures, and quite a lot of them are not going to be necessarily anything special or exclusive, or they won't have, you know, what you'd expect for $1,000 set, like dual molding and things like that. Well, there it is. CC5853 says, this would technically be my last year of middle school, but I'm homeschooled. I want to go to high school soon and focus on, but I'm not at school right now, then I can, or sorry, but if I'm not at school, then I can build Lego and focus on supporting other Lego YouTubers. Well, I got to go. Nice chatting. Thank you, CC5853. Psh. Yes, thank you for your support of all the Lego channels. Liam's here. Psh, awesome, Liam. Thanks for joining. Good to see you here. CC5853, have a good one. And, you know, stay online there and monitor, if anything, what is going to happen with release day here. Liam, good advice. Stay in school. Yes, sir. I guess if you're homeschooled, you can probably accelerate your graduation, though. CC5853. It just depends on the quality of work you're doing, of course, and the curriculum you're working on. But yeah, homeschooling definitely is a great option for a lot of families. So if that works, so you can kind of get through and graduate faster, very cool. But you definitely don't want to rush through getting older, man. Don't worry, it will. That part will happen no matter what. So enjoy your youth. So part of enjoying the youth is doing fun stuff like this, like building with Lego with you guys and talking about brick therapy. So yeah, all that story to say, I heard about the UCS set and thought, wow, what a great, awesome, amazing thing for Lego to build, and look forward to seeing what that will be. And then we've all found out what it is, and so here we are just before release day, and kind of like, I don't know, it's still not, it's one of those weird situations where it could go really well, but it could you know, just totally fall and shatter and crash and burn. So we'll see what happens. Simply Tactical. Psh, awesome. Good to see you here. He says, yo, what's up? Yes, Simply Tactical. And, you know, that set, it does look like a really neat build. Although some reviewers have said it's not the most interesting of builds, this UCS Death Star set that's coming out. Overall, it does lend itself to a nice display piece because it is, you know, a diorama display. It does have a little bit of the Death Star outer look, but it's all a giant circle, or as some people have said, a cheese slice, and made fun of it, but it's, you know, pretty accurate. And one of the things I pointed out the last couple of live streams is, what do people think are hey, thanks for all the likes, guys. Thanks for joining the chat and saying hello. We've got Solo Soldier 5. Hey, Therapy, what's going on? What set are we building? I am building, speaking of Star Wars, I'm building the Dagobah Jedi Training diorama set here. So you can tell it's got some cool printed plates here. Unfortunately, the camera's the reverse angle, but yeah. Working on 2 diorama sets. Finished this one a couple days ago, the trash compactor set, which I think is a fun display there. You can see the 4 key old school OG characters in there, and then you got the droids on the other side, which is always fun to have. And now I have this one, whoops, have this one here, which comes with, I'll just, man, if you touch a Lego set in the wrong spot, it just falls apart on you real quick. There's that frustrating part. But you get a cool looking Luke here, you know, Jedi training. Got his workout clothes there, so to speak. So yeah, this is the Jedi training set 75330. This is a 1,000-piece set. The other one before was 800 pieces. This one seems more, I don't know, significant in terms of just the weight of the build, but I haven't finished this one yet. So 1,000-piece set, only 6 bags. So again, it's, I guess, somewhat deceiving. It feels like less than that, but there are quite a lot of single tiles in the floor design. So I think that's where you get you get a significant number of pieces right there, which add up to the 1,000. When I was building this yesterday, it was kind of fun. I was showing my progress of the plate, which kind of had more of a lot of flat tiles just next to each other. It looked like I was building a Lego Tetris set. So Lego Tetris, not Lego Star Wars. But now it looks, it's got some more structure to it here. So yeah, that's what's going on here. Solo Soldier says, nice. Liam Brick the Bed says, you think we will see the Lego store freeze with the slice of death? Will the Lego store run out of supplies, or will they not really have enough? I don't know, Liam. It'll be interesting. That's why I said this is one of those release days where I don't know if there's more excitement to actually buy the set or just curiosity to see what happens. I'm kind of in the second category. I'm so curious to see how this thing turns out. So it's kind of one of those moments where you can be entertained or amused by something silly and kind of fun at the same time. How many people are gonna purchase this set on release day or over the weekend? Or will release day just be, there'll be such huge demand, especially at the Lego stores? And I compared it to before. If you're old enough, you might remember when the iPhone was released, it was a pretty big deal. And then probably the first 4 or 5 versions of the iPhone, when those, or maybe 6, when those iPhones were released, or new iPads, this is like the middle 2000s or so, like so from like 2007 or 2008 to 2015. I mean, those people would go to the Apple store. They'd be lining up around the corner. Got to get that new iPhone. Some people would pirate it, pirate the sale, and people end up buying those things for like 3 times the price because they had to get the latest iPhone. It was crazy. I don't think, or I just wonder, I don't think it'll be like that, but I'm just curious how many people are going to show up at the Lego store tomorrow lined up to get their slice of the cheese. The Death Star slice. And is the demand going to be so much that they'll run out, that the set will go in backorder right away? Maybe not to say that Lego's playing games, but maybe they kind of want that to happen, and so they didn't put enough of the UCS sets available at the stores to create a scarcity and a demand for that set. So again, just very curious as to see what will happen. So yeah, fun question. Ivan, psh. Hey, Brittany, welcome. Psh. Yes, welcome you guys. Hi, Brick Therapy, how you doing? Good, Ivan, good to see you guys here. I was a little bit curious, or maybe even concerned. I'm like, where is everyone? So I started the stream at the usual time, but took a while to find all you cool people. Thank you for joining the chat. Simply Tactical says, my sister's husband has that set. So your brother-in-law, I think, is what you mean. Yeah, so your brother-in-law has this this diorama set. That's a pretty good build. It's been out for, or was out for a while. It's retired now. So both these diorama sets are retired. And the fun thing is, when I was building this one, I said, well, I'm not going to get the UCS Death Star. I definitely know that this is part of the display in the UCS Death Star. So I have a 10% stock investment, or 10% version of the UCS Death Star by having this trash compactor diorama piece, or at least that's what I'm, proudly proclaiming. I didn't have to buy the whole set. I could buy a 10% version, like I'm buying stock or something, and watch to see, maybe be somewhat entertained a little bit to see what happens tomorrow. Now, going back to the set I do want to get for release day, maybe you guys weren't here when I said that, is to get the AT-AT, or the gingerbread AT-AT that's coming out. So if you're familiar with kind of some of the new sets coming out for October 1st, the gingerbread AT-AT is coming out. There's a Lego holiday train. There is a giant Christmas tree set, which to me is somewhat shocking. It's usually Lego does release a modular set or modular type holiday set, but it's usually just averages around the $100 range. But this Christmas tree display one is going to be $330, I think. I saw it. The family Christmas tree, $329.99. So that's a pretty expensive Lego themed set. So height 46 centimeters or 19 inches, width 13 inches, depth 14 inches. So it's a good size display piece. Very specific, obviously, to Christmas. And so if you really want a Lego Christmas tree build that's, decent height, 19 inches or 46 centimeters, then there you go. I don't think I want a Lego Christmas tree that much to spend $333 or $330, but I do want to get that gingerbread AT. When I heard that set was coming out, or first saw a picture of it, I'm like, oh yeah, that is a day one purchase. At least that's what I will try to do, because who knows, what will the competition be like the moment all these sets are out there on live on the Lego website? Will they be available for long? And then I can update you guys tomorrow and let you know how things turn out. So I can actually live stream on release day and say, especially if it's this time of day tomorrow or a little bit later in the evening, how things turned out. Was I able to get the gingerbread AT-AT? And more importantly, was I able to get the gingerbread Darth Vader? So I think that'll be fun. If you have any of those kind of meme type sets, like the Lego Dark Falcon or the Jedi Bob build. So I got the Jedi Bob right down there. Some fun fan fiction set right there. Whoops, there's Jedi Bob. And there's the Obi-Wan set. This thing's been out for a long time too. That might be a set. I think I said get these while they're still out. Those are fun builds to have. And if you can get a Millennium Falcon, this one's been retired for a while, but the Dark Falcon is that traditional size of the play scale set of the Millennium Falcon. I think the Dark Falcon is a set worth getting. So even if you don't need to, or don't want to, or not interested in getting a new set October 1st, there are some of those others that are out there already worth getting. And actually, you could get the Dark Falcon, I think, for a sale price on Amazon, a little bit less expensive. Solo Soldier says, I still have to post on your page with my sets because I forgot. Awesome. Yeah, Solo Soldier, go to our community page on our Break Therapy 2-3 channel, and definitely show us what you've been building. It'd be great to see everyone's build on there. So we do have some people that have posted on the community page. So that reminds me, please like and subscribe to our channel. This is Brick Therapy 2-3, the Sig Fig guy, probably floating around somewhere down here on your screen. So if you like Lego, you like talking about Lego, you like talking about future Lego sets or Lego sets you already have, please join our channel. We always have a good live stream discussion going. and took a little bit of time to warm up, but we have a good discussion going now. Solo Soldier says, also this week I'm heading to the Lego store and picking up the gingerbread AT-AT. Awesome, Solo Soldier 5, love it, because that Darth Vader is gonna go crazy. Yes. Do you think you'll make it in time? So that's tomorrow. I would say go tomorrow, Solo Soldier. I don't know how many of those they'll have. Maybe they'll have stacks and stacks of them. I'm planning to get that one the moment it turns October 1st tonight, so at midnight. So yes. Ivan, how are you guys doing today? Awesome, Ivan, doing well. Good to see you. Soul Soldier says, I love your idea for the 10% Death Star right now. That's actually pretty funny. Thank you, Soul Soldier. I'm going to pin that comment. I thought it was pretty clever. And you can't, you just got to appreciate what's out there sometimes. It's like my stock piece of the Death Star. It's like I reached into the Death Slice and, extracted the trash compactor set. So awesome. Love it, love it, love it. Solar Soldier, also Solar Soldier 5 says, yes, Brick Therapy, that's the one that I want. The AT-AT, I'm thinking, man, we have to probably buy that online. It would be fun to buy it at the Lego store. I just wonder, by the time I would be able to get over there, it would be late afternoon, early evening, and I really don't want to drive on the freeway to get to a Lego store. Build the rest. Hello. Soul Soldier 5 says, all right, have to head out, so good night. Have a good time building. Thank you, sir. Awesome. Love the comments. Let us know if you get the AT-AT, and I will do the same. Thanks for joining the chat and being here for a little bit. And if you're watching, please leave a like. Maybe we get to 20 likes. We can get 2 more likes from people. So don't forget, if you're enjoying the conversation or you just like Lego in general, leave a like. Help us get to 20 likes on the live stream tonight. And I will keep building because I feel like I'm making some decent progress on this diorama build. I don't know, is it a diorama build? It I guess it is, because it's kind of a display piece with a scene. I guess maybe most Lego pieces or Lego sets could be considered that. But of course, this also has a title that you attach to it with a quote from Yoda. So there it is. So what will come of the, ooh, did I miss a piece? I think I did. I think I skipped something here. Here we go. So what will come about starting tomorrow? I wonder if the Lego, now we can speculate too. If the Death Star set does not sell, so what happens if people don't buy that set? What will happen to, do you think it'll drop in price? I also brought up the equivalent. I was trying to think yesterday. Has there ever been a time related to Star Wars sets where they didn't sell they didn't meet their goal, or however you want to describe it. They didn't meet their goal of selling enough of the sets to do well. And I think the Cloud City was the one that came to mind. So they had an original Cloud City. I think that one was popular. But the Cloud City that came out in 2018, I think it was called The Betrayal at Cloud City. Anyway, that set didn't seem too popular at the time either. And I don't know if it sold very well. And I think they retired it pretty quickly, which is pretty much evidence that it did not sell well. However, now when you look at it on Bricklink, it's got quite a range from about $700 to $840 for that set. I think when it came out, it was pretty expensive as a set, so maybe that's not much of a appreciation. But I know the minifigures from any of those Star Wars sets become pretty darn popular. So in that sense, in comparing it to the Death Star that comes out tomorrow, there are some minifigures there, I imagine, that are going to be pretty popular. There's going to be at least 3 or 4 different versions of Luke and some of the general staff, the Moth ranked guys, and so there might be some interesting minifigures that end up being popular. I know there's the Stormtrooper with his bathing suit on going into the hot tub scene or whatever. They have some kind of meme scenes in that set as well. So Builderess, welcome. The Random Game, welcome. Just picked up the 2023 Lego Galaxy Explorer off of Amazon before it gets too expensive. Very cool. Random Gamer, what is that one? I gotta see. So 2022, he says. Correction, 2022 Lego Galaxy Explorer. What is that one? I need to look that up. I don't know what that one is. 2022 Lego Galaxy Explorer. There we go. So that one's still on Amazon. Whoops. Where did it go? So that one's still on Amazon, huh? And it's a set that was... Is it retired now, or it just was? It's been on for sale for a while. So the Lego Icons. Oh, that one. Yes. Is it the Lego Icons Galaxy Explorer? So set 10497. Yes, that's a good one. It says the 90th anniversary collectible edition model spaceship. Yeah, that set is but that set has the OG minifigures and yeah, all the building pieces. That's an OG Lego space set. That's a good one. Yes, well done. I think Random Gamer, you made a good purchase. I know I saw that a few years ago when it did go on sale, or it was still available on Lego.com, but then Walmart had it on special. I want to say the price dropped down to about $70. I think it was I don't know. I guess it wasn't as popular as it was supposed to be on, and I ended up buying it too. I ended up getting it for $70 or $75. I think it even dropped lower than that. So they were trying to offload that, but now it's still out there. It's over $100 now, but you can still get it. But I think that is very quintessential old school Lego space. You cannot go wrong with that. Very cool. Ivan says it's official. The Lego Lord of the Rings Minas Tirith set to be revealed in 2026. Cool. Ivan, bringing in the news. So let me look that up. I'm so interested. I wonder if they've released any images of that, because I think, although he said it was going to be like Barad-dûr, and he was not a fan of that set, but I like Barad-dûr, so I think a good look for hey, Castle Therapy, remember me? Yes, of course, Castle Therapy will give you the shot here. There's the delay. So yes, of course, I remember you. Ivan says, I am not sure, but I think my sister and her husband are in Germany, and it's morning in Europe, so I wouldn't be surprised if they buy me the Lego UCS set, but I will let you know if not. Ivan, bringing in the news. That's right, Ivan, you had your eye on that UCS Death Star right away, and you're thinking you might get it. Alexander, welcome. Little Lego, welcome. Good to see you guys. So if you're here, and I know some of you guys joined the chat and you've been here before, please leave a like. Help us get to 20 likes today on the live stream. So I'm just wrapping up the portion of the build I started today. Started 2 days ago. The DAGOBAH training set, and I went from that set to I started with this set in terms of diorama sets. The trash compactor set, really like this one, and then finally I thought I had 3 of these diorama sets, but I don't, now I'm not sure, but I have, because these were in my backlog for a while. Now working on the Dagobah training set, and I'm gonna put Luke on top of here and put them on display here. So yeah, these are the cool sets. I can say I have 10% of the UCS Death Star in this little diorama set here, because this is part of that original set, and that's why I pinned Solo Soldier's comment. I thought that was fun. Alexander is here. Little Legos here. Ivan says, I would be surprised if they buy me the Lego UCS Death Star, but I will let you know if it doesn't happen. So you're hoping they'll buy it for you, Ivan, or you kind of put in a hint like, please get this for me I mean, that's a lot of money. So what is that set going for in Europe? I'm assuming if it's $1,000 here, is it the equivalent in Europe? Is it going for 1,000 euros? So if it's going for 1,000 euros, then that's definitely more than the price here. However, I guess with the exchange rate, maybe it might be better because you pay the price you see in Europe. You're not paying 1,000 euros plus tax. The 1,000 euros includes the tax. So I'll just see. I'm gonna check for you, Ivan, and just see if they're in Germany. What is the price of the set over there? Since it's 9 hours. They're 9 hours ahead of us, so it's definitely October 1st in Europe. And let's see what they got. What is going on with the sale price there? 999 euros. So coming soon. Oh, but you know what, Ivan? I don't know if you knew this. I guess unless you're a Lego Insiders member, you can't get that set until October 4th. So if they're Lego Insiders, then they can probably get it today. But if they're not, then they need to join, and then they can get it for you. So just to point that out. Let's see. All right, guys. We'll see if they get it. Yeah, Ivan says, I hope they get it. No worries, little Lego. I'm about to sign off right now. I'm signing off, but thank you guys for joining. Thank you for leaving a like, everyone. Needed one more like to 20 likes, so we'll see if we get it here in the last second or so. If we do, great. If not, it's okay. I'm gonna try and get onto the Lego website at about 9 o'clock tonight my time. So in about 2 hours, that should be basically midnight, right? That should be basically midnight. There we go, 20 likes. I knew it was gonna happen. Let's go, 20 likes. Thank you, everyone. So midnight tonight in about 2 hours, because I'm counting East Coast time, not my West Coast time. So that'll be cool. Yeah, Ivan says, oh, that's right. I have to wait till October 4th. Now, if they're Lego Insiders, maybe they can get October 1st, but otherwise it's not available till October 4th. So I don't know if that's the same over here or not. That didn't even cross my mind, but we will see. So thank you guys. Thanks for joining the live stream. I will talk to you soon and update you, and you update me on anything new that you added to your Lego collection. Have a good night, everyone.